So it looks like Samsung's Galaxy S6 may launch with a number of issues. Chiefly, a yield problem appears to be holding Samsung back from being able to provide a large quantity of units for the Samsung Galaxy S6. It would seem that the Edge version of the device is having yield problems with its curved display. Ars Technica has spoken to an industry insider at one of the cell phone companies who's basically revealed that Samsung just cannot get enough of those S6 Edges ready for launch. But there's another caveat here. Apparently, Samsung is selling these devices, including the normal S6, at a hell of a premium into the cell phone companies. We're talking nearly $100 more than an iPhone 6. What? It doesn't matter whether we're talking about a curved display or just a bog standard S6, there does seem to be a massive price hike here over the usual charge that would go out to the cell companies. Obviously what we don't know is what Samsung may decide to release the device as a SIM free at, but certainly the prices usually track pretty closely together. It's a bit of a concern that Samsung may very well here be, well, attempting to maintain their profit margins even though they've had to make some technical changes to their device which are costing them a lot more. For instance, they do appear to be going ahead with Sony's 16 megapixel optical image stabilized camera optics. This is the same optics we saw on the Galaxy Note range. This is costing them a fair bit more than their own ISOCELL developed sensor, but of course ISOCELL doesn't use optical image stabilization, and as I mentioned last year, no smartphone should really be launching without optical image stabilization if you're at the very top end of the market. It meant that Samsung's devices last year were rubbish for photographs, as was the HTC One M8. But there's another issue here as well. Samsung has had to abandon using the Qualcomm Snapdragon 810 processor due to lots of different issues that Qualcomm are having there. Chiefly amongst them seems to be a thermal throttling problem, where effectively the CPU is running so hot at the clock speed that Samsung wants that essentially the device is thermally throttling the CPU when it gets too warm and performance is dropping. So Samsung have had to spin up their Exynos range of quad-core big little chips instead, and essentially they're going to have to do their own CPU architecture. All of this is costing them more money. It does seem that they are absolutely focused on the bottom line at Samsung these days, attempting to ape Apple in any opportunity they can to make sure they have big profit margins, even if that means compromising their potential to sell through units in this initial first sales period of the first 6 weeks. It would strike me that what Samsung is going to do here is effectively use the initial stampeding rush of people buying these devices to pay for the long-term yield issues that they're having here. Essentially, early adopters will be paying for the write-down on bringing these costs down later on. We'll have to wait and see what happens on Sunday to see exactly what Samsung are planning here, but mark my words, I think Samsung's fortunes are about to turn a rather nasty corner. If they launch this product too expensively, I'm afraid people are going to simply say, I'm not going to buy that.